Live. It's my behind the scenes look, and as you can see, I haven't dressed up or I haven't set up the studio like I normally do for a Me and My Health Up podcast because this is me on my journey on writing a book. It's challenging for me, and I'm enjoying the challenge, and I'm just sharing what it's like behind the scenes on going towards a goal that you've had for a long period of time and that you're finally bringing to fruition by making small steps. It's been something that I don't know how to write a book, and so I'm learning. I'm learning off people that have written books and getting some assistance in that front, but just making a start. And I think with anything I've done, it's always just been starting. And even though it's a bit rough, so my first recordings are really rough. Like I'm walking along the beach and talking into my phone, and there's the sound quality is not great. So certainly the first few recordings haven't been fantastic from a audio point of view, but there's certainly been collecting my thoughts and allowing me to uh, just start the thinking process and really capturing my thinking. And that's what I've just done. I just started writing, and I thought I'd share what I've written down in relation to happiness and the thoughts I've been having. And I thought I'd start with sharing the problem. So the challenge we have is that we think that we should always be happy. So that's far from truth and far from reality. And I think that's the reason why we get hung up is we're constantly thinking, I'm not happy, but we weren't always meant to be happy. So I shared in a previous recording that, from a prehistoric point of view, happiness was we'd get our prey. Okay, we'd feel great about getting the prey. We'd think, yeah, we're going to live another day, another few, or maybe a week, depending on how big the prey was. And so that was a great sense of accomplishment and achievement and success. And along coming with it is that feeling that, yeah, you're surviving. And in those periods, they would have encountered predators, and in some instances, they would have escaped the predator, and that would have been a great sense of relief and appreciating being alive. And with that, that would have been a flood of positive neurotransmitters, if you call them positive neurotransmitters, such as serotonin and dopamine, and yeah, so they would have felt great after escaping the predator, or some people would refer to it as relief. So that was like the prehistoric, and then with that survival linked, that survival mentality based on, um, yeah, that whether it's happiness or it's just feeling fulfilled that you're surviving, they would have encountered that regularly because that was their goal every day, was to get food and avoid the predator and to stay alive. And so they would have encountered those successes or milestones more frequently. Whereas in today's society, we we have, I guess, social media constantly showing us highlight reels of people's successes and milestones, and we see them as looking extremely happy and fulfilled. And then we're comparing them to us. And in that, most likely in that moment of comparison, you aren't celebrating your success, or sometimes you might be. And so therefore it's probably neutralized. But most often when you're going through the highlight reels is that you're seeing everyone else's success and milestones and thinking, oh, they're looking very fulfilled and very happy. However, I'm in my gap period before your next success or milestone. And so we're constantly comparing the success of others to where we're at. And most likely you're in that gap between achieving another success or another milestone. So that like gets back to the previous recording, is that happiness is a momentarily thing, and it comes every so often. But what makes it so good, dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin and these neurotransmitters are going berserk, and the high can last quite a long period of time, depending on the mountain you've climbed. But however, the come down is huge because you're coming down from Mount Everest in terms of accomplishments. And then it's hard to get back to the everyday and to get back to that work. Whereas I guess if you're having smaller milestones, smaller successes, And I think this is one of my points, is to recognize those smaller milestones and smaller successes so that you maintain this more sustainable feeling. And you could call that happiness. And I've mentioned that in a previous recording, is happiness is totally individual. So what I get happy about is different to what you get happy about, because it relates to what we value, what's important to our milestones and successes are based on what's important to us, and that's different for everyone. So our, what makes us happy is going to be different. What makes us feel fulfilled is going to be different.